Nintendo fans have yearned for a good third-person shooter for a long time. Since 2015, this problem has been solved with the game Splatoon. Today, I'm going to show you how to play Splatoon 2. In the game Splatoon and Splatoon 2, you play as an Inkling, which is a sort of werewolf-type creature because it takes two physical forms, one being the resemblance of a human child and one being a squid. When you first open the game, you are prompted with the question to choose an Inkling. You can choose skin tone, eye color, hairstyle, and leg wear. When you're done with that, you can enter the game and it will send you to a tutorial. When entering the tutorial, it teaches you the basic functions of the game. Obviously, the most basic being to shoot, with the ZR button on the back of the controller. It then prompts you to shoot balloons, and then you can move around with the left joystick. The tutorial then goes on to show you the spatial aspect of the game, to look left and right with the right joystick. Throughout the tutorial, obviously, you follow a trail of balloons. It also shows you that you can reset the camera with the Y button on the right Joy-Con. So if you're jumbled up and you want to go back to regular settings, it'll just send you right there with one click of a button. It then shows you to turn into a squid with ZL, the opposite button of ZR, the shoot button. You can pass through easily, and when you exit, you can see your squid form, and you can jump, even as a squid. An odd aspect of the game is that when in squid form, you can pass through any sort of graded material. When walking through enemy ink, you take damage, a minimal amount, but it's definitely not something you want. After you finish the tutorial, it gives you a sort of warp pad to Inkopolis Square. This is Inkopolis Square, where you will spawn every time you open the game. First, I'm going to show you the main game modes of the game. First being Turf War. You have to enter this tower right there to be operative in the Turf War. All you need to do is just walk up to it and enter, and the doors will automatically open. Turf War, being the really purpose of the whole game, has sort of sub-modes: regular battle, ranked battle, league battle, and some other ones like private and online lounge. To enter ranked battle and league battle, you have to get better at regular battle and get to a certain level or online rank. Another game mode, probably the second most popular one, would be the story mode. This is for really when you're offline, don't have any internet connection, you can still play this. All you need to do is enter this grate next to this big tower in which Turf War is. Story mode takes a very long time to complete and has several different levels. You have to complete a certain amount of stages on the level to get to the boss fight, which will then unlock a sort of warp pad to the next place. That would be the warp pad. I'm just going to show you a brief overview of a battle. This is a map known as Port Mackerel. It was actually included in the original Splatoon, and they just crossed it over to Splatoon 2 to add an extra map, because people liked it a lot. There's lots of cracks and crevices to get your ink into, and so I think it's really important to cover as much turf as you can. After all, the main object of this game is not to eliminate other players, but to cover turf, hence the name Turf War. A lot of players that I've encountered tend to have that kind of mixed up, where they go after the enemy players right away instead of covering turf. And of course, when you get hit with enough amount of ink, you are splatted and sent back to the spawn point. From there, you can actually teleport to any of the other players that are alive at the time. A good way to sneak up on enemies is to go a little slower within the ink, and then they actually can't see you unless you go too fast. Then it makes a sort of rift around you. And when you cover enough ink of the opponent's color, then you actually get a special, and the special varies on your weapon. Mine is called Splashdown. You can see it in the top left-hand corner, or top right-hand corner. Every turf war only lasts 3 minutes. Looks like I won that one. Whenever you win a turf war, you usually get around 3,000 of the currency, and you also get experience added to your level. And if you get enough experience, you see I'm level 16 and I'm close to level 17. On the left side of Ingoblet Square, there are 4 shops in which you can buy different things to customize your character. In the Ye Old Cloth Shop, you can buy anything to put on your torso, such as a coat, a t-shirt, or a jacket. In Headspace, you can buy anything from a bike helmet to a face mask to put on your head. In probably the most valuable store of all, Ammo Nights, you can buy weapons, and it'll show you the stats of each weapon when you click on it. In the final store, Shella Fresh, run by some sort of crab being, you can buy shoes to customize your feet. So within Ingoblet Square, there are several locations, some of which I mentioned before, being these customization shops, and a brand new one to Splatoon 2 is called Krusty Sean's Food Truck, in which the same person who ran the shoe shop back in Splatoon 1 sells you food to up your stats within gameplay. Another being a sort of sea urchin called Merch. He resides just to the right of the tower in the center. Merch can obtain several different items for you, mostly customization. When you walk up to someone, you can order gear by pressing ZL. When you order gear, it'll show up the next day with Merch, and he will sell it to you for a varying price, depending on the rank of the item. That concludes my how-to, and I hope that you are now able to navigate the game easily and play it at least competently. I hope this inspired you to buy your own copy of Splatoon 2.